Hello everyone. Assalamualaikum. How are you guys doing? I hope semuanya sihat-sihat belaka. You guys are watching us Great People TV with me, Hana Ismail, dan juga Ben Ibrahim. Okay, sebelum kita mulakan apa-apa, kepada anda yang baru saja join kita, please don't forget untuk subscribe, share dan juga like our Facebook page Great People TV. Okay, jangan lupa. Okay, dan hari ini macam yang kita janjikan, we have a very special guest coming all the way from Canada virtually, Ben.
That's right. From Canada, as they say, Hannah. That's my
Okay, sebenarnya Ben, sebelum kita perkenalkan kita punya guest ni, sebab I rasa excited sangat-sangat because I nampak pattern di mana the rise of Asian faces and talents in the Western media and filmmaking.
Betul.
Kita boleh nampak daripada kalau anda menonton Netflix, Kim's Convenience, and benda tu memang dah dapat diterima oleh ramai sangat orang sekarang, and people are starting to get used to it, and it's really exciting. And the fact that kita punya guest pada hari ini is in the midst of this trend, itu yang menariknya.
That's right. Our guest is the one and only Yvonne Chapman from Canada, and obviously she has Asian heritage in her family. So,
right,
a very proud Asian talent, but Canadian talent, and she is the star of a very popular show, a new show called Kung Fu. Yes, why? That's why the topic is everybody needs kung fu fighting, and she plays the evil Jiran, but she is the nicest person and most friendliest person in the world, and you all will see that.
Beautiful as well, gorgeous as well.
That's right. She is very attractive. A lot of guys were like saying on my Instagram today, "Wow, she's hot." Like, well, why did you join in? Okay, so look, now without further ado, let's welcome Yvonne on Great People TV.
Hello.
I'm just laughing. Hi guys.
Are you blushing?
You guys are very sweet. Hi, how are you?
We're good. How are you? Why were you laughing just now?
She was blushing.
Okay.
I was just watching you guys give the intro. It was great. Oh man. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
You know something funny? Because I've actually prepared my attire today to look like badass as much as you, but the fact that you came here with looking so feminine and so demure and classy, I'm like, okay. But it's good to see you. And,
you look great. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
All
right, Ben, perhaps you want to ask the first question.
As you can see, everybody's kat sini is, gila semangat. Everybody's very happy. So
yes.
It's a feel-good interview tonight with Yvonne Chapman. So let's get to know Yvonne a lot better. I posted the posters this morning on Instagram, and all on many Facebook pages across the world. Not just Malaysia. Movie buffs out there, and a lot of people are very interested to find out what Yvonne is all about. So Yvonne, thanks so much for being with us. We know we've been talking to each other for a few months now, and thank you for replying my messages. I don't know Yvonne very well. I'll be honest, everyone. I just direct message Yvonne. Very friendly, very professional. Emails, everything. Like, it's dealing with a true professional. So, first question, Yvonne. Okay, because I know it's 7 o'clock in the morning over there in Canada, and thank you for waking up super awal and early to be with us.
No problem.
Tell us about how you got started in the acting industry.
So I would say that in actually acting, I started later in life. I started really getting into it after I graduated university. I was working in corporate finance for a while, and I really enjoyed acting when I was a kid. I did school plays and things like that, but it wasn't something that was in the forefront of my mind as like a viable career by any means, even though I loved it so much. And we all know that story, right? Where it's like you go in more of the traditional path. So yeah, I went to university. I got my degree in business and finance and did that whole thing. And then I was studying for this test called the CFA, which is like a really grueling test. I was studying every single night and on the weekends, and I'm like, I just need something for myself as a stress release. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? I can carve out a Tuesday evening where I can take an acting class. And I just fell in love with it entirely all over again. and I couldn't get it out of my head. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I got to do it now. I'm not going to get any younger. And so I took the leave of absence from work. I packed up my car, and then I drove from Calgary to Vancouver. And yeah, now I'm here, very, very thankfully.
Hana and I are from Malaysia, and I mean, let's be very honest. I mean, the Asian culture, very traditional, like you said. Our parents are, like, so we do apologize if we have a little bit of a technical difficulty, if there's a bit of a lag there, so minta maaf. So, Yvonne, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. The joys of live interviews of the lag. Okay, so but like I was just saying earlier, that you know what, we're all Asians here, and being Asian, we're very proud of our heritage. But our parents, usually more often than not, they have a huge say and influence on how we do things, especially in our career, with our marriage, with our lives, and all of the above. So, did you have any of those pressures in your family growing up? Number one, and number two, what was their view that their daughter, who studied for the prestigious CFA, all of a sudden did a U-turn and wanted to become an entertainer?
Yes, because generally, right? Parents would say, get a degree first, then you can do anything you want.
Definitely. And you know what, to your point, Hannah, that actually did quite help when I did transition into acting, because I think it was a surprise for them, because I think they didn't know, and I wasn't, fair enough, I wasn't very vocal about my interest in acting, because I knew it wasn't going to be something that was readily well received. And like you guys said, fair enough. I mean, our parents work really hard to give us a good life, and they want us to have the exact same. And when you're given the model of, well, to have a good life, you have to do A, B, and C. And when you kind of diverge off that path, of course, you're going to have some concerns. So, but for me, because I already had a degree, I was already working in finance, they knew that I had a fallback, which I think really helped. So they definitely had their concerns. They're like, what are you doing? You're leaving a good job and, the career that you worked really hard for to do this thing. But at the same time, like I was grown up. This was a completely the decision that I can make as an adult woman. And so they were, I would say, trepidatious, but now they're very supportive, which is great. And growing up, because I wasn't really vocal about that, to be honest, like, I don't really know what the reaction would have been, because it wasn't something that I felt comfortable or confident yet in saying, this is what I want to do. Because I didn't know that it was something I could do, if that makes sense. There wasn't a lot of examples growing up of people who looked like us in TV, in Western culture anyway. So.
Okay, we just lost Yvonne for a little bit. Do apologize.
That's all right. But I would like to acknowledge some of our viewers who are watching at the moment. Hafiza, she seems really excited that Yvonne is here. I'm really excited. She's a badass indeed. And hi, Yvonne, So thanks, Hafiza, for joining us. Okay, let's just wait for Yvonne to join us again. Kita tunggu, kita masih lagi. Okay, Yvonne is back on the line.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Well, we're not sure ourselves, but okay, can I be honest, Yvonne? I haven't got the time to watch the series Kung Fu yet, because I'm not sure where is it available in Malaysia, but I just got to know it's actually, you can stream it on Hulu. And because I'm, the thing is, I'm actually a fan of anything Asian at the moment, because to me it's like a trend right now, the rise of Asian faces, Asian talent. And when I watch Kim Convenience, I'm like, oh my God, if we can produce such content, and I'm pretty sure I can't wait to watch any other content that our Asians produce, And my question is, soalan saya kepada Yvonne adalah, bagaimana anda berada di tengah-tengah trend di mana kebangkitan konten-konten Asia? I mean, how are you in the midst of the rise of Asian content who are well accepted, well received internationally?
I have to say that for us as a Kung Fu cast and team, you know, especially during COVID, when you're making this thing, you're working in such isolation. And we all know that we all saw this project and we knew for us it was very, very special, because it was, for us, it was like, wow, we actually get to go to work every day and be surrounded by people that look like us and tell stories that are very familiar to us, for our family, and, you know, all of that. And we were so excited to share this with everybody. So with that came the excitement and also the anxiety of, like, we really hope everybody loves this as much as we love it. And I'm just so happy to see the positive response from everybody. It just makes us feel that all the hours that we put in and all the work and just the care that we wanted to take in making a fair and equitable representation of, you know, the Asian family and Asian people, really transcend and actually touch, like, be well received by people. And so it's been really exciting, to say the least. And we have the best fans. You guys are amazing. It makes it so fun. And, you know, we do this for you guys. So.
Oh, thank you, Yvonne. Okay, sebenarnya apa yang Yvonne cuba bagi tahu sekarang ni, beliau sebenarnya sangat-sangat teruja sebab apa penerimaan yang cukup baik dan positif daripada ramai orang, terutama yang menonton siri kungfu ketika ini. Dan kalau kita nampak sekarang ni dekat Rotten Tomato, rate untuk kungfu adalah lebih daripada 80% ya. Okay, itu dah sangat-sangat tinggi ya, Ben. That's really high ya. Rotten Tomato rate, that's really high. So
Asian
this
cast.
is like a good yes, this is a really good indicator yang baik untuk anda pergi tonton kungfu sekarang. Okay, let's talk about your character Jilan. Okay, how did you get into character? Because the way I see it, you are totally the opposite. You're so demure and classy, but you're total, if I may say bitch in the series.
She's a big bitch.
Sorry. Exactly. So, I mean, how do you get into character? Macam mana anda mendalami karakter Jilan di dalam siri kungfu ini? Yvonne.
Yeah. So I think what really drew me to her was that because she was such a huge departure from myself, which is so much fun to play, because then it's like I really do have to work to try to find my way into her. But I have to really thank our showrunners and the creative team, the writing team, Christina Kim and Bob Behrens. The way that they wrote Javon, like, on the surface, and what she does is definitely bitchy and evil, as you guys say. It is. But the reasons behind why she does what she does is incredibly human, and understandable. And so that's how I found my way into her, was understanding the motivations behind all of the quote unquote evil deeds that she does. She comes from a really, spoiler alerts, she comes from a really, you know, tragic background, as, you know, for those who will watch the show will see, and you start to hopefully relate to her. So for me, it was a lot of fun to play that because of my day-to-day life. But understanding that psyche and means of being, that's just how I found my way in with her.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, sebenarnya apa yang Yvonne cuba sampaikan adalah dia sebenarnya sangat teruja dan suka berdapatkan karakter ni sebab dia adalah total opposite daripada karakter yang Yvonne yang in real life. Okay, dan bila kita melihat kepada karakter Jilan tu, kita boleh faham tau kenapa karakter itu bertindak sebegitu, sebab kadang-kadang bila kita daripada background yang mungkin agak tragic, mungkin background yang agak sukar, dan menjadikan karakter itu sebegitu, dan Yvonne mengharapkan agar kita semua boleh faham dan boleh relate dengan karakter Jilan yang agak bitchy itu. Ben.
Yes. No, I mean, it's amazing how you just switch, because she's so ruthless. Jilan, for those who watch Kung Fu, everybody who haven't seen it before, she's ruthless, she's results orientated, she doesn't care how she gets there as long as she gets there. And it's really, I mean, I don't want to give season 1 away really, but I mean, let's talk about diversity. Greg Berlanti, I'm a huge fan of his production because he has directed other shows like Superman, Superwoman, Arrow, Flash, Batwoman. I think the latest movie, the latest TV series about the American football TV series, All American. There seems to be a very, very strong connection to what today's society is all about. If you look at Batwoman, she's gay. Okay, and if you look at the other shows and the other heroes as well, it's usually a very diversified character, whether it's Asian, African American, other parts of the world, other sides of diversity. What is that? I mean, and this is a question for Fiza as well. Fiza is Nor Fiza wrote in a number of questions today on my Instagram to ask you some questions like this. But I'm really going. Sorry to be so long-winded, but how does it feel being part of a show that captures the show that a show that nobody wants to talk about in terms of diversity? But this show is up there. It's direct. It's in your face. What do you think?
I'm really happy to be a part of that, because I think it's been a long time coming. And it's when you say it's in your face, it's true, because there's not a lot of shows like us out there right now.
Yeah, true.
And I say right now because I really think that there's going to be far more coming. Because look, I think that there's a responsibility in media, and I love that Greg Berlanti is such a champion of this, but there's a responsibility in media to fairly and equitably represent what the world actually looks like. And we are what the world looks like. We're not all of it, definitely not. There's absolutely no way that one show can represent everybody, and we can't. But we're hoping that we can be part of the solution to get there. Because the thing is about the media, and what's so beautiful and powerful about it, is that it gives access to a range of people for those who you might not have access to in your day-to-day life. So if you don't have friends and family that look like us, well, you can see us on TV. And if you see us on TV, you hope that it's a fair representation of what people are like or can be like. With obviously the elements of fantasy and entertainment notwithstanding. But we need to have more of that, and we need to have it on a consistent basis, so that we're not just a blip or something special. As much as I love being part of something special, I hope that one day it won't be. That there's going to be so much out there, and that there's just going to be a range of people just all mixed together, and it's just going to be the normal. That's what really my hope is. And so I'm really... I just feel so blessed to be part of that solution, and hopefully we're just going to see more of it.
Okay, sebenarnya apa yang Yvonne cuba bagi tahu sekarang ini adalah, kalau kita tengok dari segi representasi dan bukan kaum minoriti dalam bidang perfilman dan juga media di barat ni, mungkin dah lama-lama yang kita tunggu sebenarnya. Kalau sebenarnya macam tak banyak, dan bila ada pun nampak macam special sangat. Jadi apa yang Yvonne mahukan dekat sini adalah lebih banyak sebenarnya representasi dan konten dari yang mewakili semua minoriti ataupun semua kaum dekat dengan dunia ini, supaya benda tu nampak bukan lagi special tapi satu benda yang memang biasa. Sebab zahirnya memang kita semua ni adalah satu ada satu benda yang unity, bukannya muka Mak Saleh aja yang kita kita biasa tengok dekat TV, because itu adalah benda yang tak biasa sebenarnya. Sebab bila kita dekat dunia ni macam bangsa, macam kaum kita tengok. Jadi Yvonne mengharapkan agar lebih banyak representasi dalam penghasilan perfilman, dan juga ini satu benda yang luar biasa lagi selepas ini, insyaAllah. Okay, alright. Yvonne, because the way I see it, Canada has been playing like at the moment, CW Network and Canada has been playing like a very an active role in this representation. What do you have to say about it? Apa yang anda boleh katakan apabila kita lihat Canada mainkan peranan yang agak aktif juga dalam melibatkan banyak lagi representasi daripada kaum ASEAN dan juga kaum yang lain. Comment, Yvonne?
Yeah, I'm really happy to see that we're taking the initiative of giving a fairly overlooked part of the population a chance in the media. Like I said, I think it's overdue, but we're making strides. And more importantly, I think we're making strides in making sure that when we do have those chances, they're not in tertiary or supplementary roles. We're actually given storylines, and we're given complexities, and we're given a chance to actually show full, well-rounded human beings as characters on shows. I think that is really important. I think that's where we're leading to, is that you're seeing people coming in, not just the supportings, but actual recurrings and leads in shows. And so people are watching us week to week as opposed to just us showing up, in a one scene saying one line. That's not representation. So I'm really excited to see that, Canada and America really stepping in and having saying, okay, they need more space. And we're given more space, which is fantastic.
And Yvonne, maybe
okay, Yvonne sebenarnya sangat teruja apabila Yvonne lihat kan, right?
Sorry, Hana, I was just about.
You were saying, Ben?
Yvonne just brought up a really, really good point.
That's okay. Okay, you go ahead with the question. Then later I can translate.
Yeah,
right.
Cool. So tag team here. But was this, Yvonne? I mean, like you said, that is not full representation. Saying one line, "Would you like fries with that?" or "Can I get you a drink?" as an acting waiter or waitress, that's not a reflection of society. Well said. But tell us about what that society not too long ago was thinking when they viewed Asian talents, African American talents, or talents who came from, I don't like to use this word, but it is what it is, the minority backgrounds. How did the Hollywood, the Western Hollywood see us in terms of talent and our potential talent? Or was there any talent to be seen at all in their eyes?
Right. I mean, I can't really speak to, what they were actually thinking or saying. I can only speak to how I view it as somebody who's in the industry and also growing up as an audience member. It almost felt as if, well, we need to tick off our diversity box, so let's just throw them in here. That's how I saw it. I also saw it too, and maybe this is me speaking more from like a business background, but us being too much of a risk to show because we didn't prove a quote unquote star quality or whatever you may need in order to get people to view it. And so for me, that translated, well, maybe people don't want to see us, but you can't look at it that way because it's almost kind of silly when you look back on it. Of course, people want to see yourself on screen. Of course, you want to see someone who looks like you that you can relate to, that you can empathize with. And so we're not a risk anymore, not at all. And we never were. Let's make that clear. We're never a risk. But in terms of what it looked like in the past, that's how it looked like to me. And I think that discourse is really changing.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. Now,
Okay, apa yang Yvonne cuba explain dekat sini masa soalan yang pertama dan soalan yang kedua. Okay, soalan yang pertama tu apa yang Yvonne cuba explain adalah beliau sangat teruja apabila beliau melihat macam mana industri di Amerika dan Kanada begitu mengambil langkah yang proaktif dengan menambah lebih banyak representasi di dalam industri perfilman itu sendiri. Dan pada masa sama bila Ben tanyakan soalan yang kedua kepada Yvonne mengenai pandangan Yvonne tentang bagaimana representasi dulu tu tak banyak berbanding dengan sekarang. Apa yang Yvonne boleh katakanlah sebenarnya mungkin masa tu mereka takut dengan dari aspek bisnes dan juga marketing mungkin tak ada star quality, tapi pada hakikatnya kita nak tengok muka kita juga, maksudnya muka Asia ni menjadi representasi dalam setiap series dan juga konten yang mereka hasilkan. Jadi itu bukan lagi satu persoalan sama ada boleh diterima ataupun tidak, tapi hakikatnya satu benda yang memang kita akan terima juga. Macam saya bagi contoh lah kan, kalau kita tengok kan macam mana rise of J-pop dan juga K-pop sekarang ini yang mendominasi dunia penstreaman dan juga dunia muzik di dalam peringkat global. Jadi satu benda yang tidak mustahil dah pun sebenarnya. Okay, I'm passing the button to you, Ben.
Okay, cool. Wow. Okay, you've done very, very well in an industry that is really tough. I always tell people the entertainment business, whether you're a TV presenter, whether you're a producer, whether you're a presenter, an actor, it's the toughest job in the world because it's not like a finance division, a CFO, a deputy CFO, finance managers, tax, audit, and all of the above. I come from a family of accountants, so I sort of know a little bit about accounting and the commerce business or the commerce industry. But now that you've made that switch from numbers to entertainment, what's next for Yvonne Chapman? How far do you want to go with this? Any particular milestones you want to achieve? Bucket list? Yvonne.
I would love not only just to continue in acting, because that's just really what I really love to do right now, but I would love to start producing and directing my own things. I did a couple projects, just short films, during COVID, just to keep my my creative need going, and I absolutely fell in love with directing. I love it. It was so much fun to do, and it's one of those processes where, for me, making those short films, it's like I really got to see on the side of a project from cradle to grave, so to speak, from the inception of the idea to the very end of the idea, and I learned a lot doing that. Like I find that just by doing that, I hopefully, and I think I was making better decisions in front of the camera because I knew a little bit more about what was happening behind it. So if I could learn more about what's happening behind the camera, and in particular in those roles, I would love to do that.
Okay. Apa yang Yvonne cuba terangkan sebenarnya, moving forward lah, memang ketika ini memang Yvonne sangat-sangat sukakan dan cintakan dengan apa yang berlakukan, which is acting. Tetapi in the future, Yvonne sangat berminat untuk beralih pula kepada pengarahan, penerbitan dan penghasilan konten sendiri. Sebab sebelum masa during COVID ni, masa during quarantine time tu, apa yang Yvonne cuba buat masa tu, dia menghasilkan short films, dan daripada short film tu dia belajar banyak sangat tentang penghasilan sesebuah karya di belakang. Tapi jadi itu yang Yvonne nak look forward to, which is penghasilan dan penerbitan konten beliau sendiri. Interesting.
Super.
Okay, Ben. Yes, I think this one question ni will be coming from a very, very special fan of Kung Fu. And I'm not sure if she's ready, Ben. Is she ready?
Okay, not yet, because do you want to ask Yvonne about, this is Fiza's question, advice for people wanting to...
Oh, Fiza.
Yeah. Fiza
Alright.
asked 4 or 5 questions, and this is one of Fiza's questions. What's
Right.
important for people wanting to make a career switch in general? Because it's
Right, yeah.
especially from finance, such a secure industry, making good money, to entertainment where things are quite freelance, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah,
Yvonne, any advice?
That's a really good question. I just want to say hi to her because she's so sweet. I think for me, it was something. It wasn't like I know sometimes in these interviews it comes off as like, hey, I just went and did it. Yes and no. I mean, it took a lot of time for me, one, to gain the courage to do this, and second, I did put a lot of thought into it and making sure that if I was going to go into this industry, that I could do so that I could support myself, and then second, that I would be ready to take on that kind of risk and that kind of change. Having said that, though, I don't think you're ever fully ready, or you're never going to feel ready, because it is such a huge change in life circumstances or whatever it may be. And so my advice is, maybe as frivolous as this may sound, is like, you just have to do it, because the thing itself and the idea itself of doing something that's so different is always going to be greater than the thing. So don't let that fear of the change cripple you into actually taking action. Take action and see if it's for you, because you're never going to know unless you do it. And having said that, do so smartly. It's not like I completely quit my job and then went into this. I did have a backup plan. I did have other things going on, which I highly recommend. It's not all or nothing. It doesn't have to be that way, as much as people might want to say that because it sounds cooler. Take the responsibility, and you know that you have a support system, hopefully. But yeah, I think you just got to do it. You just got to figure out and see for yourself, right? Like it's just the action of it. So.
Yeah. No, just a couple more.
Okay, nasihat Yvonne. Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm.
Okay, nasihat Yvonne kepada mereka yang mungkin nak jump shift career yang agak berbeza daripada sebelum ini kan, adalah memang kita semua tidak akan bersedia pun sebenarnya, tapi kuncinya adalah buat je. Nak tu buat je. Jangan biarkan ketakutan kita itu menyelubungi apa yang kita nak lakukan. Sebab we never know what's going to happen. Jadi senang cerita, just do it lah. Just do it. Okay, alright. But Yvonne, Ben, boleh tak I tanya satu soalan last kepada Yvonne sebelum kita beralih kepada peminat cilik kita ni, Ben?
Right? Go ahead.
Okay, Yvonne, I have one last question coming from myself. Okay, my question is: superheroes are the flavor of the day, and we need more female Asian action star. If you get to play a superhero character, which character would you like to play, and what's your dream role?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, that's such a good question. Oh man, I don't know. I'm really open to a lot of different roles within that genre. Particularly, I would love to do something within the sci-fi space. I think would be really cool. And there's like a few books that come up to mind. Like one of my favorite series, the Red Rising series, such fantastic sci-fi books. There's a few characters in there that if they were ever to be made into anything, I would love to have a chance at. But it's not so much about like, I think for me, it's always about the character of the thing, like how these women come up in the world and how they like own whatever power it may be, whether it's actually a supernatural power or just like a general one. I think it's a lot of fun. But that's a really good question. I feel like I need to go back and really have a think on it. But I agree. There's got to be more, and I think more of a mix. And I think that's coming up. I hope so. It'll be fun
I
to
can
see.
I can really envision you and in the sci-fi character playing the lead role. Wow, that would be
I would
great.
love that.
I would love to see that.
I would love to see that. But Yvonne, just another question about the acting skill itself. Was this actors in general, you all make, especially in Kung Fu, and please tell the Kung Fu crew they've done a great job, because I watch a lot of martial arts films and I try to practice simple martial arts here and there. I'm going to try to do some classes a little bit later. The kids are doing
You do?
the kids are doing taekwondo.
Wow.
Yes, I'm not just a pretty face now. I'm just kidding. Okay, so
That's awesome.
yeah, but tell us about the intensity of the training, because you all are under pressure to make it look real. Okay? And it looks real on TV, but tell us about the training, the preparation. Is there a point that, oh my God, this is not what I signed up for, or is it? Or I want more, because that type of training is not built for everybody.
Yeah,
Fair.
show us some muscles.
Oh, I don't know. It's been the summer. So our stunt team, incredible martial artists, incredible choreographers, and incredible trainers. I say this in every interview because I don't think they're given nearly as much recognition as they should be given for the job that they do. They are amazing people. And so they're always taking care of us, making sure that we're safe. If we want to push ourselves to do certain things, they are all for it, which is fantastic. And I will say for all of us on the crew of the Kung Fu crew who are doing the stunts, we always want more because it is a lot of fun, and it's a skill that I never got to do until now. And so the training really just depends on how much time we have. TV moves really, really, really fast, and so sometimes you'll get a couple weeks to do a fight. So for the pilot episode, that huge fight between me and Pei Ling was about 2 weeks of training.
Wow.
Which is a longer time for us. Yeah. And then there's other fights where you might only get a couple days. And so you get into the stunt studio and you just do it. But they always make sure that we're safe. And I personally love the training. I mean, like for me, this is great. Because I like that kind of physical work, right? And yeah, maybe it's not for everybody, but for us in Kung Fu, we really enjoy it.
Nice. And one last question before I bring in our surprise guest. Can you tell us about your cast? Because, you've got Olivia, who plays Nikki Shen, and you got the guys, I think that was the guy's name is Henry. I don't know, I can't pronounce his full name. And then you've got the veteran actor of American acting, of American Asian acting, who's there with you. Tell us about your cast and the chemistry, the fights, the friendship, and just Kung Fu.
Yeah. We're actually a family, I gotta say. And especially, like, it was a tough for a lot of us because when you're filming in COVID too, we had to stick within that bubble. You can't go and socialize with other people. And so we really took care of each other in that. And we really, really got along. And I'm sure a lot of shows and actors or whatever say this, but really we got along. We like each other. And I think that's like pretty evident when you see the interviews and stuff. Like, it's not fake whatsoever. They're just lovely human beings, lovely, talented human beings who we're just excited about the show. We're excited about the work, and we show up for each other. And that's all you can really ask for. But we got so much more out of that because we actually love each other. We're here for one another. So
nice. That's so nice to hear. And I really hope that, or we really hope that Kung Fu is here to stay, because as per the title of this topic for this interview, everybody needs Kung Fu fighting. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
I hope so too.
All right, just a big shout out to Fiza and Wan Amirun Solehin Soleh. Thank you so much for tuning in and leaving some comments. Yvonne, can you just say hello to Fiza from Malaysia?
Hi. Hello. I wish I could actually see you right now, but yeah, thank you so much for joining in. I always see her on the social, so it's nice to see you here too.
Nice. It's always good to see. It's so nice that you meet a celebrity, and the celebrity is a very nice person and everything. But speaking of fan, Yvonne, I have a confession to tell everybody. One of the reasons we watch Kung Fu, like when I say we, my family and I watch Kung Fu, is because my 8-year-old daughter is the biggest fan of Yvonne. We do not miss every Thursday when we stream it from Hulu. We watch it. And we just have such a great time. And Greg Berlanti, if you're watching, we also watch Superman as well. Okay, so we love your work and the work that you've done. So Kyla, come on.
Kyla Natasha.
Say hi, Yvonne.
Hello. Hi.
Okay, so what question would you like to ask Yvonne?
I think she's starstruck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, look at the camera.
What are everybody expecting from you in season 2?
Oh,
Yay.
good question. Good question. You can expect more fighting. That's going to be a lot of fun. You'll expect more kung fu, that's for sure. But I also think you're going to see Jalan in a very different light, and that's all I can say. But I think you'll like it. I hope you'll like it.
And when do you start shooting season 2?
So we start up, I think on the 20th, but we're starting training and everything next week. So.
Wow.
But just wondering, just curious, has actually COVID affect work in a big way there, based on your experience?
I would say that at the beginning, everything had to be shut down because nobody knew what the proper protocols were to take place for us to continue, because our work is so intimate, right? Like, we have to talk to each other. We have to be in front of each other. We can't be 6 feet apart all the time. But I am really grateful that once production started up, they put and implemented COVID protocols in place to keep all of us really safe. We were testing 3 times a week, at least.
Wow.
Just to make sure. Yeah, 3 times a week, and then we'd all have masks. We had different zones on set, so if you're within a different colored zone, you can't go into a different one. So just making sure that there was that kind of separation, and again, just the personal responsibility to the other cast and everybody on the crew who's working so hard just to make sure that we're staying safe in our personal lives as well. Not doing any undue risk and everything like that. But just really grateful that we could do that. It was definitely a learning curve. It's definitely different, being on a set and having those protocols in place. But like anything else, you just get used to it and you just want to do the work. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, Hana, Yvonne, thanks so much for answering those questions and answering it well. Hana, I'm all out of questions. Any more questions from you now?
Well, Well, actually, same here. I just want to say kudos to you, Yvonne, and to all the Kung Fu production team, you know. And I wish you guys the best for season 2. And I can't wait to binge watch it on Hulu. So if you guys are like watching us at the moment, don't forget to catch Kung Fu season 1 and season 2 coming. So you can stream it on Hulu. Ben, do you have anything to say?
No, Yvonne, if you don't mind passing a message to the Kung Fu crew, I'm going to send them Instagram messages, direct Instagram messages, and just tell them to please.
No, from Kyla.
Just please tell them to reply Ben Ibrahim, because look, we are so inspired of what Kung Fu stands for. It's not just a martial arts show, but it's an Asian show making international headwaves. Yes, the cast is Asian, but the acting is first class. And that,
thank you so much.
and that is setting a yardstick for many, many other talents from around the world, and sending a message that it doesn't matter what skin color you are, where you're from. If you got talent, you got passion, you got guts, you got gusto, then go for it. Which what all of you have done on Kung Fu. So salute to you, salute to the crew. Please tell them I'll like how I got connected with you. I'm going to DM them and just say, please, can you? There's a very popular word in Malaysia called layan, which means give face. So can you please layan Ben when he sends you a direct message, because he wants to publicize the great work that you do. Kung Fu style.
Oh, well, thank you guys so much for having me and for supporting the show. And like what you guys are doing is so important as well. And I think every platform that we get a chance to talk about this is just phenomenal. So thank you guys for having me.
No, and
It's been a pleasure.
Anytime you want to come back, Yvonne, please come back. Just send me a WhatsApp. I mean, you are Malaysian now because you know how to use WhatsApp. We Malaysians are gold medalists. WhatsApp. And this little fella wants to say hello. Say hi, Auntie Yvonne.
Hi. Hello.
Okay.
Here in Malaysia, everyone who is older than you, we call auntie and uncle.
No, Yvonne wouldn't know that.
Well, thank you guys. This has been so much fun. I would love to come back.
Okay, one last question.
Thank you so much. Right, Kyla, go ahead.
Actually, question. Can you please follow me?
Yes, I can. Ben, please send me her. Is it Instagram?
Okay, she's got very thick skin. Like she's gonna be a fantastic entertainer because she's got thick skin, like all three of us.
Yeah, I like her.
No, I'll definitely do that.
So sweet.
Yeah, look, Yvonne, just once we finish the show, just stay online. We just want to take some photos after that and say a very big thank you offline. But on behalf of everybody here at Great People TV, all our audience, to Hafiza and everybody out there who's sending messages and everything, thank you so much for being part of Great People TV. Please press the follow and like button, and not just on our Facebook page,
subscribe.
but on our YouTube channel as well. Subscribe, because the more we grow the show, we can keep continuing to bring in quality guests like Yvonne on the show to tell their stories. Today, Yvonne is telling chapter 1 of Kung Fu. You never know. Yvonne, God willing, inshallah, Yvonne's going to tell,
the sci-fi.
An Academy Award or Best Supporting
sci-fi
Actress.
movie.
But plenty of stories to tell. So, Yvonne, you're the best. Thanks a million. And we'll catch up very soon. You stay safe, yeah?
Yeah, you guys too. Thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who's watching.
Yvonne. Yeah, sending you love and admiration from Malaysia. Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone. Inshallah, we'll see you guys on Great People TV in our next episode. Until then, Ben and Hannah and Yvonne signing off. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Stay safe.
Bye. 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 Bye.